So now what I want to do is explain the court a little more. You may be wondering why there's numbers on the floor. Well, each number represents a different position on the court in terms of kind of basketball. So one position would be the top of the key, or you'd be able to shoot a 3-pointer from. The 2 spot represents a wing position, and that also you'd be able to shoot a 3-pointer from. The 3 position kind of represents a 3-pointer and a mid-range jump shot. Hence why there's green and yellow. The yellow represents the ability to shoot a 3-pointer, which is a more difficult shot. The green represents 2-pointers, easier shot. The gray represents the defensive positions. So these are the positions that your defender would be in, trying to stop you doing whatever you want to do. So 3 is like a hybrid, and that's where the strength of the 3 position is actually being able to choose your shot. Whereas the 1 and 2 grant bonuses in addition to be able to shoot 3-pointer. So you get +2 to your speed here, where you only get +1 here. And position 4 and position 5 represent the low post and very close to the basket position. So your really easy shots, more maneuverability, strength is the preference there. On the defensive side, you actually get bonuses at each location. And the closer you are to the basket, the more bonuses you get. Try to say positions 4 and 5 have 3 different skill bonuses which relate to your character card, which I'll show in a second. And the 1, 2, and 3 only have 1 stat bonus. The outside positions are a strength for the offense, whereas the inside positions are actually better for the defense. They get better bonuses. So each side is a mirror. So on this side of the court is where the blue is in offense. On this side is where the red is in defense. Red is trying to stop blue from making a basket. Everything is mirrored on the other side of the court. We take a look at that. Now blue is on defense. And all those same positions that were red before are blue. So this helps clearly represent where a blue player should be on what side of the court, or a red player for that matter. Now I'm going to explain the character cards a little bit. The most important part of the character card is the skill stats. Each character has different skill stats, so this is where you're going to look to compare each character's skill stat between each one when they interact. Second most important is their ability. Each position, so for example, a power forward or PF is actually really good rebounder, which is why his rebound stat is 5, and that's the highest stat you can have for any of your skills on the character card right now. The other information, his name, his height, and then stat pile. What the stat pile is each card in your hand is considered an action card. When you successfully play that card, you place it in front of your character card to show that your character is accumulating stats in the game. So it kind of represents how a player might score a bunch or rebound a whole lot. And I have a scoring system. That's what's on the bottom of the action card, are the stat values. So the more successful actions you play in a game, the more you will help your team in the end. And that is a character card. Now I'm going to explain the 4 types of action cards. The red, which is defensive cards. Yellow, which are neutral cards. Green, which are offensive cards. And then we have hybrid, which can be of 2 kinds. You'll be able to play defensive cards when your team doesn't have the ball and you're on defense. Yellow cards, or neutral cards, are able to be played on when you are on offense or on defense, depending on the play condition. Green cards, or offensive cards, are only able to be played when your team possesses the ball and you are on offense. Hybrid cards can be played depending on which one you want to play. So for example, if you wanted to pass, it's green, so you can only play it when you have the ball. Now if you want to play this card as a maneuver, you can play it anytime, so on offense or defense. We have the card name, card art, the play condition. So these set the parameter of when you can actually play the card. Then once you satisfy the play condition, we have a skill check. So this is where you compare offensive skill versus a defensive skill. And each card will have its own skill check, skill that needs to be compared with the defending player. And then the actual power of the card. So at the very bottom, you have now possess the ball. So you've successfully stolen the ball. The bottom of the card, you have your stat value. This number in the corners represents how much stat value it's worth at the end of the game. And then we have a little flavor text just to add to the game a little bit. So now I want to explain the different types of die and what they're used for. I talked about before about this character die, character position die. And what this does, when you roll it, it represents one of the positions on the floor. You may be asking, well, what if I roll a 6? Well, then you get to choose your position on the floor. Offense always chooses first, so defense has the advantage in play. This 12-sided die represents the basketball, and that's also its location and who gets it. Once we get into gameplay, I'll show you a little more why this is 12-sided versus a regular 6-sided die. The last 3 dice represent the difficulty of a shot. So a green is a real easy shot to make. You have a lot of swishes and only a few misses. The yellow represents a hard shot. You have only a few swishes and more misses, and then a fast break, one fast break. And for now, basically the fast break is a big advantage for your opponent, which you don't want them to have. Black die is a very difficult shot. You don't want to be rolling this dice to try to make a shot. There is only one swish, so there's only 1 out of 6 chances you can actually make the shot. And there's 3 fast breaks, which is the ultimate advantage for your opponent. So that's the dice, and that's the game piece explanation. And that wraps up my game setup and part explanation video. Stay tuned for more videos, more updates, and more information about Drive the Lane. Thank you for watching.